just how loose is that money? 8 players overflowing with confidence for the PartyPoker.net big game. Over $60,000 on the table, turned into chips. The greens are 1,000, the reds are 500, the blacks are 100, and whites are only 25. 24 hours of action. These are big-time players. I'm here with Ian Fraser, and Ian, these 8 around the table, this is like lambs to the slaughter. Nobody has any idea what to expect from this big cash game.
No, none of us do, Jesse. I seem to, a few of these I've seen before playing cash, and a couple of them are lunatics, and a couple of not. So there's a few here that.
It's actually 8 of you, isn't there? I'm thinking.
The Devilfish there. In some ways, you'd consider this, you know, his home, his beginnings. I mean, this is how the Devilfish started up, an East London club, and the big cash game, all the money on the table. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's going to be the one we're all going to be watching, Jesse, because we know how he likes to play, and he likes to throw his chips around. He's a fantastic catch player, and we got it all to come from him, I reckon. There's a nice pair for Dave. Take away, Dave.
when you look around his table, Ian, 8 players here,
Raise to 250.
who do you think's the most likely to put in the full 30 hours straight?
I wouldn't like to say. I mean, could probably play for about 9 years.
He could.
You know, just with a couple of morsels on the side. He don't get animated at all, does he? I'm very impressed with his game. I thought he played fantastic in that last event.
Yeah. The raise was
I'll go for and get one if you
from
want.
Gregory and the bookie taking a flop off in the small blind. I mean, I guess this is a cash game sort of play, isn't it?
Yeah, and these two have got plenty of history in the tournaments that we see regularly, Jesse, and I think they both sort of got it in for each other.
Check.
In cash.
Hardy's got a piece of the flop, but it's not a high enough pair.
450.
And it's a pretty big bet by Dave. It's about the size of the pot.
I think he'd probably get a call here.
Black chips worth $100. And raise announced by. Now, if he can represent the jack, I guess.
Yeah.
Tough,
1,000 more.
very tough for Gregory to call here, isn't it?
Well, they do know each other's game. I know that for sure. I think they both play in a separate cash game, Jesse, on a regular basis, and it's a case of one tells the rest of the table he's going to bash him up in the tournament and vice versa, do you know what I mean? So I think there's plenty of competition with these two.
The raise is $1,000, and I mean, I guess Gregory knows his hand is unlikely to get better.
There you go.
The bookie is just pretty much battered him.
Yeah. Nice bet. What they buy him for? 5,000. These guys. I mean, the way they're betting, their stack ain't going to last too long.
It doesn't seem like that, does it?
I think they've probably got a bit of strategy, Jesse, that they load up for 5,000, see how it goes, and then reload, and all of a sudden, you know, they've reloaded 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, I'd like to venture. I mean, obviously, not only these 8 players in the game, we've got tons of players waiting in the wings on the waiting list with tons of money.
There's some fantastic players out there waiting to
Phil
come in.
Helmuth, Kenneth James. The call's going to go into Tony G later on. Roland DeWolf. Yourself, you might sit down in there and.
If
you
I
like
see
to
a
look
few of
at
them
it.
go on tilt, Jesse, I'll be passing the mic over to you and I'll be knocking on the door.
Raise
Oh,
to 200 total.
That's the best strategy for a cash
Cool.
game, isn't it?
Yeah,
Let them stew a little bit.
Pass.
And Austin Healy's put a raise in here, I think,
Cool.
up to about 200, is that right? A 3-way here, the Devilfish. Or I think maybe the raise came from Juha Helpy with the 6-7 suited.
There you go, you don't mind playing the low cards. I always find this, Jesse, cash games, these players, I don't know what it is, but they all love to play middle connectors in cash. They seem to think that they get weighed off a lot more, but if you try and stick to playing the premium cards, the ace kings, ace queens and top pairs, you're going to get the money all day long.
Yeah.
Check.
Checked around to the Finn. He's checked it to Austin Healy.
200.
And Austin don't know no checking. He loves his poker, Healy.
Pass.
He's put 200 in. And the problem with healthy hand right now is if he hits, he's going to have trouble getting paid off.
Yeah, any low anything under an 8 here will be sweet for him.
$1,000 in the pot.
There you go. That ain't too bad, is it?
Where's yours? You going, pal?
It's giving healthy
Not
an
so good
extra
up here.
out for the straight. 4 or 8 would
Check.
give him the nuts.
200.
Austin just stringing along here. It's not really that big a bet, is it?
No, he'll call this all day long.
Call.
Great thing for Healy.
Well, Healy don't know where he is now, does he? He might be thinking he's up against a pair or a couple of pairs, anything, open-ended. And now that's big trouble. Healy checks now, and you are take the pot off him.
Check.
No, the other way around again.
It was up to Juha first, yeah.
Didn't realise.
Healy can only basically lose if Juha decides to bluff him because Queen High is winning,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
300. Pass.
Queen High for Austin Healy.
He played that fantastic, didn't he?
You know, we've seen Austin play in a couple tournaments, and he's either double up or double out quick. But he's kind of a wild card here. I mean,
Yeah, but none of these guys will have a clue how he plays, would they?
Oh.
I mean, you know, you see one of these guys, he's a star, you know, in another field, and they come sit down and play poker. You ain't got a clue, really. And when they start betting, you got to think about, you know, have they got the nuts?
Because I like them because they touch your eyes, you know. And they have one squeeze and they're only good. And
there's healthy right again. This is more to his liking. And he's just limped in with the queens.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
I guess we're going to see all kinds of interesting creative ways to play a hand, because it seems like in a cash game, it's all about you can go real deep and try and stack someone off by really trapping them, don't you?
Pass.
That's how you get your chips.
Call.
Looking to make the nuts against the second nuts.
Yeah, of course.
shooting your eyes already. You don't
I mean,
need
that's
them.
Phil Elmuth's game, ain't it?
Yeah.
He's got one caller already, Austin.
Yeah, it's two limpers and a big blind here. There's only 200 in the pot, which obviously is a good day's wage, but right now on this table start to seem like a cheap flop.
Good day's wage if you work in Safeways, Jesse. Not for these guys, I tell you. They're taxi fares.
Check. Check.
I'm not about where the hole was, just above the hole.
Check.
I'm getting the feeling that Juha is completely done with the queens.
He won't be interested at all, will he? Especially you've got a couple of diamonds out there and 2 overs. He's just not going to be interested.
Don't spit in it either.
Is it? And Dave's got bottom pair. He's hit 2 pair now, Dave.
Yeah, yes.
He will bet this.
Check.
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 Wow. What's Gregory up to?
Well,
Quick, we can make.
he was obviously hoping someone was going to.
200.
Yeah, he's got Austin Healy. And he's got Austin Healy actually drawing dead for a win, live for a
He's got
split.
to raise it.
Raise to 7.
Yeah,
Pass.
yeah. He was just waiting for someone to put a couple of hundred in.
This is how they're going to pick on Austin Healy. Just try and trap him all day.
See, if you pick up queens like you are, picked up queens under the gun there, Jesse.
drinks in here?
8-handed, quiet fish. You are picked up the queens there under the gun in a cash game. He can't really raise because if everyone passes, he ain't won nothing anyway.
We're going to be seeing that all day long, aren't
Yeah.
we? People limping in with the big pairs.
Of course. You're looking at flop a set and hope someone else, you get set over set and get all the chips.
Healy's just getting, oh, look at that. He's gotten a split on the river.
Scaremonger.
Yeah.
That's a scaremonger.
He could actually win it here, Austin
Yeah.
Healy, couldn't he?
I was gonna say that. The kid is a great.
He could do.
Oh. Kings and eights with an ace.
Watch Dave's face.
Yeah.
There's an 8. Kings.
Let's have a look. Oh, he's gone. Look. Oh.
Is Gregory already starting to think it's not his day?
I can't do. We've only played about 4 or 5 hands. He's here for another 23 hours. Yeah.
Good news for Dave Gregory, while Austin Healy's making his statement early. John McGill, a little bit of a rocky start, but there's plenty more action to come when this game continues. Welcome back to the PartyPoker.net big game. They'll be playing 24 hours, and Austin Healy's out front while John McGill, the big loser.
There must be an easier cash game somewhere else in London, Jesse. Can't you just get me a taxi to that one?
I think so.
Raise to 250. Pass. Pass.
He likes to mix it up, Austin, don't he?
Pass. Pass. Pass.
In some ways, Ian, I think this game is
Call.
all going to be about Austin Healy until he either gets a big stack, in which case it'll always be about Austin Healy, or
Pass.
because he's probably the least experienced, but he's also the most aggressive.
Yeah, it don't hurt to be aggressive.
Okay, chicken bound.
He's a super guy, Healy, and
Who checked in the dark?
has he? Well, it's McGill in the small blind. Oh, he must have checked in the dark. And
400.
top pair for Austin Healy. John McGill's he's playing some hands here.
Yeah, you won't want to be playing this, I shouldn't think.
$400 bet.
Pass.
Another chunk of money into the craw of the rugby player, and it's a very promising start for Austin Healy.
My name is Austin Healy. I'm from Leicestershire. Predominantly, we played three-card brag as rugby players all the way through England days and with Leicester Tigers. And then it was only in the last couple of years that we started playing Holdem. And now the guys have actually moved off Holdem and onto Omaha a bit more. So they want anything that they can chance their hand at. And it was either that, we played lie dice for a long time, but we didn't play for money, we played for punches. So you could double up on punches. I don't think they'll be playing that today, but if they do, then I definitely fancy my chances of winning. I'm quite happy for them not to take me seriously. I'm not a serious poker player. I'm someone who plays poker for a bit of fun. I don't do it for a living. I don't need the money from it. And you know, if they adopt that attitude, then fine. I think that's great. I've got admiration for them in terms of their employment, which is what I'm entering into. So as you say, I'm pretty much a layman taking on some world-renowned professionals, but occasionally laymen can come through. I like a battle, and I think these guys will pick up on that, and they'll try and entice me into a bit of verbals, and occasionally I can be turned into a bit of a psychopath, and then that's not good.
Oh, I know, I just like asking.
Hope he's the big loser at the table, but he's actually got one of the big stacks. He's in for 20,000, and
Yeah, chicken feed to him at the minute, Jesse. He won that big tournament not long ago, chicken feed.
Pass. Raise 150. Pass.
raise from Yuha, who's
Yeah,
kind of rocking
a
and
couple of
rolling.
nice cards. Entitled to raise with those.
Call.
Andy's been a bit quiet since he won that pot.
A raise.
Yes.
Raise.
Raise from the bookie. What's he got? Let's have a look. He's got her opened up with a big pair, I should imagine. There you go, kings.
From the
Raise
small
650
blind.
total.
And
Look at him. I wouldn't like to get him down a dark alley with my handbag under my arm.
Choppers, that's what it says on the side.
so it'll be 500 more on Yuha. He
Pass.
folded those pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's around to me.
Yep, 5 more.
I've been chopped. I'll have to,
With the kings in a cash game, Jesse, I'd rather, you know, couple
I
of
don't say
players in the
anything, don't, I
pot.
just play
Me,
the
I'd
game,
rather
I'm
see a
like,
flop.
whatever, so
You know,
what,
if you.
mate?
All right, he's nicked a few bucks in the blinds, but if ace don't come,
Yeah, Hardy is the big winner here. He's had, I guess he's had the big hands. Did
Yeah.
make one bluff against Gregory early.
Say that without his sunglasses.
And right now there's two guys at this table who
Pass.
I think you'd have trouble giving any action to, and that's the Greek Fish and Dave Gregory, both of whom, to me, have got a very tight image
Pass.
right now.
yeah, as soon as he's put his glasses on,
One more
hasn't he?
chance. Very tight.
Oh, yeah, he's a nice
Raise
hand for
150
Austin.
total.
Let's see if he gets a bit of action. Yeah, straight in from the bookie.
it's-
8-9.
It's kind of good news for Austin because, oh look, and the Devilfish has re-raised him with Ace-King.
Let's see what Austin does. Will he re-raise?
Stick it right.
I think it's, is it 600 more on him?
Show him the move, the special move. Bang!
I think he's going to re-raise by the looks of him.
how much was it for me to play?
6 more.
Now, to me, I've flat call.
Austin's got about 3,000.
He's going to re-raise, isn't he? What's he put in? I couldn't see.
He may not have. It's possible he didn't stick enough in for the re-raise. Yeah, 12 more. Well, that'll sort Anthony Hardy out.
I don't know. Not much.
He's passing. He's passing. This is his.
This is your TV.
Andy, please. Andy, please.
It's him starting, not
Please,
me.
Andy.
Probably about another 1,000 maybe.
GT glasses and put his cards in the map.
Hey?
I think Gregory knows Anthony Hardy quite rather
Oh,
well.
2-ish.
Pass.
And the Devilfish is going to have a look over here.
I need the third go. Just
$1,200 more on him.
Any overcards here, I think Austin will be doing a bit here.
Well, the Devilfish hasn't called yet. I mean, he's not folding the ace-king, is he?
Well, he knows he's going to be up against...
I'll put it all in, Pons.
oh, he's put them all in, yeah. I don't know how many chips he's got, but he knows he's going to be up against jacks, queens the worst way.
Where is it all?
You could have seen a flop for a month.
Austin raised by 6. You got that?
I'll put you all in, says the fish. And
Are you really strong?
I would be surprised if Austin Healy folds here.
I don't know how many chips he's got, Jesse, honestly. I mean,
5,000.
it all depends on what he's got behind.
7,000.
Well, I think it's about
You're a
2,000.
nice guy, I don't really want your money.
I've
Oh,
got high pair.
25 more, 2,500 or so maybe.
Doesn't matter now, does it?
Well,
My choice. Oh, it is.
it doesn't matter, my money's in there, don't matter what it tells me, really.
The way he's been playing, you'd think he'd stick it in, wouldn't you, Austin?
Yeah. And as it turns out,
He
he's
he
in good
knows-
shape here.
Well, I don't know, is he? You know, he knows the worst way. He's up against 2 overcards, don't he?
Right.
You know, and he might be miles behind, Jesse. He might be a 9-2 shot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you can't be calling these kind of $2,000 re-raises with jacks usually, can you? But
That's why he was better off just seeing the flop there.
About 2,000.
You know, at least a couple of overcards, you can get away from it.
Have you really got a pair of aces?
well, that's what he's starting to think now, is it?
That's poker, baby. That's what the fish are saying.
Have you really got a pair of aces?
Pair of aces. Hit a flat
Just tell
called
me.
if we had them.
We're all friends here.
Tell the truth.
You've just invited me out for a beer in Vegas, and the last thing you can do, you've got to tell me the truth now.
Wow, you think he's going to pass?
Well, I think if the fish actually said, when you throw these away, I'll show you, he'd throw them away.
Stick them in, and we got a race. This is going to open the game up either way.
Well, you got 2 jacks or queens?
Yeah, see, he knows.
Even money. So I can't lie to you when you said, have you got aces? I won't lie to you.
He's right.
Is that right? Is that how much he's got? 2.5?
Is the fish going to get the money, or is it Austin Healy?
Well, all the best.
There's
I'll just get my coat.
$7,500 in this pot and 5 cards to come.
Biggest pot
I
so
know you've been
far.
lucky in life, so I expect you not to take it now.
Haley's saying, I know the fish is lucky. The fish don't feel lucky.
This ain't over with yet. He shouldn't be jumping around like a jumping jack. Relax, just.
The good thing for you is actually I never won a race all last week like this, so I've been in about.
So if you work by the laws of probability, you should win this one.
The devil getting the moan in early.
If he does it this end, Jesse, the devil, you know, he'll go from
In fact, that's
strength
exactly
to
what I
strength.
thought you had. There you
Oh,
go.
there's the ace.
There it is, and he ain't even got an out with the arts.
No, has to be a jack.
Off ski.
It's a shame for Austin Healy. He got his money in a good spot, or a very good spot. But it does look like the Devilfish's night.
Put the bouncers on the doors. They're going to be banging them to get in. They're all queuing up outside to get in this game.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, who's going to come, you think? There's going to be a seat open.
Oh, they're all out there, Jesse. I looked out there earlier. There's
You know,
about
I've
a
always
dozen
found out that
players
they
out there,
always I always
arguing
think
over
most
who's
bad
next to get in.
players
Johnny, Texas, Houston, Kirill Gerasimov, could be Phil
Guys,
Hellmuth.
all the best. Hope you all
But,
enjoy the rest of the evening. It's been my pleasure playing with
Well,
you.
he mixed it up a bit while he was in here,
very
Jesse,
much.
wasn't he? He was quite fun to watch.
Yeah, he's a nice guy,
Good luck to
Austin
him.
Healy.
Yeah, good luck to
Give
him.
Eddie,
But
tell Eddie
I think all the players,
boxing show. If I'm on.
interesting, the money's going to stay on the table. And the
the best, everyone.
Devilfish is going to have a big stack here of dollars.
Don't slam the door. I'm going
Just got to
through
go
the
over
door.
to Marty and get 6 of the best on the way out, Austin. The fish draws blood.
I think the way that I play, I need to get off to a good start, and if I get off to a good start and I start to win hands and hit things, then I tend to do well. It's when I slow start and I look at my stack and I'm not very good short stacked, and that's probably one area of my game that I really need to work on amongst several others.
It's a couple hours in, and Austin Healy already has his marching orders. The former England scrum half couldn't get it going, didn't want to rebuy, but that's the beauty of a cash game. Seat open and player filled. Who's it going to be? Texas. Johnny Houston. Well, all the money stays on the table so far, and the Devilfish has the bulk of it with the 7,000 winner. Of the guys still seated, it's Achilles Kalakis bottoms down, a $4 grand loser, but he's got plenty of time to try and recover that. The night is young.
Here they come, Jesse.
Yeah.
Oh, it's John Texas Houston. He's in.
Open seat taken by Johnny Texas Houston, and he can get this game out of the muck, can't he?
He's a very, very lively player, Jesse. We all know him, don't we? I've commentated on quite a few of his eats, and I've played against him quite a lot. He don't mind chucking it in with any 2 bits.
They were saying in the green room that Johnny Houston either
Greetings.
he's going to double up very quickly or have to rebuy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's playing 5 pots out of every 10.
Every time I've seen him, he seems to get massive amount of chips early, Jesse. I haven't watched him play a cash game, so I don't know if he'll play it any different. But he always seems to accumulate the chips in the tournaments.
But, you know, sometimes that's just what a game needs, is a little new blood, you know, kind of spice things up a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to see plenty of that. They're going to be in and out of here like a yo-yo, Jesse, I reckon. Once the levels start going up and, you know, the chips start moving and the pots are getting bigger, they're going to be in and out like yo-yos, these guys.
They'll deal Johnny Houston's trade. I think he's bought in for 5,000, so... But, you know, you never know. I mean, the blinds don't really matter. The games can play big or small depending on what people make it before the flop.
Well, the blinds are big enough. I mean, they, you know, we don't want them firing into anything. The blinds are big enough for action. You get 2 or 3 hands, and the chips can all get in. Don't worry about that.
Raise to 250.
Well, a couple of...
Call. Pass.
I think it was call, and the fish has made it...
Call.
Is it a...
Call.
Let's go.
I think it's Dave Gregory who raised this up.
Disco.
In any event, it's a 250 4 ways. There's over 1,000 in the pot. I think Gregory raised this from the button. Is that possible? Or was it the fish? One of the two, anyway.
I think it was...
was Dave Gregory.
It was Dave Gregory, yeah.
He's certainly taken a view about getting things
Well,
started.
you get a couple of limpers, this is what happens. This will
Gregory.
be interesting.
Yeah. And Kalakis firing out here from the small blind with ace-jack high. Achilles, of course, one of the losers in this game. He could get even in a
Well,
hurry.
the Fisher think he's quite strong here. Has he just flat called it?
Call.
Gregory needs
Gregory's
to hit a
called as
4.
well.
Yeah. 4 for the straight. This pot's going to get up there. And that's changed nothing, but I just wonder what Achilles is up to. He can...
Check.
Well, now he knows he ain't got anything, so he ain't sure whether Gregory's got a bigger pair than him, the fish. This is what's in his mind, and depending on how he bets now, Dave Gregory.
600.
He's bet 600.
That's a good little bet, isn't it? I mean, the way Gregory's played
Not
this
really.
hand,
I mean, there was 2,000 in the pot there, Jesse. It ain't a big bet. It's more of a milking bet, but he's raised it pre-flop. He ain't going to have a deuce, we know that. But Dave might be thinking he's up against the bigger pair, so it's quite an easy lay down at this point.
Queen's a good buddy. Queen's
There you go. See, he thinks he's up against the bigger over pair,
Pass.
bigger pair.
and I guess
He's
that's...
trying his hardest to look. Look, this is why him and Elmuth are so good at this game. They seem to get these guys to show them their cards. It's unreal.
But, I mean, you were saying that you knew the reputation of Gregory as quite aggressive. He sat there like a log for the Oh, first 30, 40 hands, couple hours, and now he's picked up a nice pot with nothing.
Okay, big blind there, Anthony, please. You want, love?
Wake up with paraphrasing a big line. Achilles, you're very quiet today.
She stuck the cooler in on me, boys. I'm supposed to go broke
Call.
there. I nearly
Pass.
did a move with a non flush, you know. He's got to set it free.
Pass. Raise to 300.
And they all come red as well.
Diamond comes out.
Here comes Yuha.
No, man. That's the way it goes.
Yuha's made it 300. McGill's been playing those sorts of pots.
Yeah, I think it's you keep playing them until your head starts hurting, Jesse, and then you decide to start throwing the cards away for a little while.
Cool.
Well, I mean, the thing about, yeah, I was just thinking the thing about McGill. Last time he played that kind of pot, he made the flush against Yuha on the river and then couldn't get paid. So, I mean, they're not worth as much when you know the guy's not going to pay you off, are they?
No, he knows he's a great player, Yuha, don't he? He ain't going to dump his chips.
The bookie's just smooth called here in the big blind with the queens.
Well, again, it ain't a bad thing, is it? You know, if you're prepared just to chuck in a couple of hundred
Check.
in the hope you might win
Check.
7 or 8 grand, how bad's that? You know, if he's got it in his mind, if he don't flop a queen, he's going to pass. Then how bad? But if he tries to follow through with a queen and gets his bum spanked, then he's in trouble.
Check.
1200 in there. Who wants
Check.
it?
Check.
Clearly,
Check.
kings and queens are the best hand right now.
You see, he ain't put another dime in the pot, has he, since the... and this will probably get checked down again.
He's prepared to call, I
Check.
imagine, but not prepared
Check.
to.
Check.
No, of course not.
Okay, guys.
There you
go.
go, all checked up. Ain't a bad
Easy
hand to
case.
turn over, limping with the queens, and then, you know, it just puts them all up in their chair a little bit.
You're wrong.
You see? Now they're all think he's a rock. And we know he's not, Jesse, don't we?
Right.
Yeah, show the other five.
The Devilfish got brought a bit back down to earth because the new player, Johnny Houston, starting off with a win on a bluff. And Kalakis, I don't know if he's won a pot at this table yet, Ian.
Well, he's been a little bit passive, to be fair, hasn't he? He could have won. He could have been level. He give a pot away to the fish. He bluffed him off a couple of pairs, but there ain't a lot of action going on there. You know, fish 5 grand. Anthony Hardy, he's sort of, every time we look at this profit and loss sheet, he seems to creep up another grand, don't he?
There'll be no snooze, but plenty to lose. More poker action after the break.
Dropping your chips in the middle slightly.
I have to just load up again a couple of times.
It was quite
Pass.
funny, though.
Call.
She was...
Now the fish has called to a pair of
Raise to
8s,
350.
a pair of garden gates, 2 fat ladies, oh, and a pair of Ninas.
Yeah, Gregory's
Nina's from Pasadena, Kenny Rogers. There you go.
he's been playing quite a few.
Pass.
Oh, look at this. And
Yeah,
did
ace king.
Kalakis, oh, he just flat called with the ace king, did he?
Big stack.
So we got 3-way action here.
Okay.
All of a sudden, a little bitty pot brewing.
Me, Dave, Rem.
And Kalakis still has yet to make anything of any semblance. The way he's going.
This will be quite interesting. Oh, what a great flop for the free hands.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Check.
No, it was all the American.
Who likes
Any
to?
one of these 3 could be betting this.
650.
Strong bet.
Well, I've seen Achilles put that down many
All in.
times to a lot.
All in. And call.
You in front, buddy.
How much did Gregory call for? He had about 4,200. So, geez, I think there's going to be about eight grand in this pot.
8s and 9s.
Almost 9,000. And Gregory leading. 7s or 8s it is, isn't it?
Yeah. He's quite a big dog, yeah.
He's got the club.
Devilfish raised about $3,000 there and quickly called by Dave Gregory. I mean, you could make a case for what could Dave Gregory beat. I guess he could beat sevens
Well,
and eights.
he knows the fish can be making the move with anything, don't he? You know, he could have a 6-4 or a 5 and maybe a 3 or a 7.
Or a flush draw, I guess.
Going with it,
Oh, yeah.
you know, anything like that, and he's prepared to whack it in. There you go.
The 9s hold, and Gregory will be. Well, he only started with 5,000. He's might be the
6-9 flop.
the big winner. Here
Cold deck.
so far, 4,000 ahead.
Okay, we have 3,000 now.
John McGill under the gun. Ace Jack suited. Yeah,
Yeah.
pump it up.
Raise to 250.
It's funny,
250.
Long time.
two of the sort of tighter players at the table have gotten aggressive, and the aggressive players have gotten a little bit snug. This is the first time McGill's played in, 2 rounds or so.
And he's picked up a couple of jacks here. He might just flat call this, Jesse. Second to act. He might just flat call and decide, you know, these sort of hands, don't worry, call the 250 as if you wrote the 250 off. If you hit the flop, you're going to get paid.
I'd be surprised to see him do anything else with so many people behind him, especially.
Yeah. Just put the 250 in as if you've chucked it down the drain and forget about it.
Pass.
And, I mean, McGill under the gun there. I guess Greekfish has to give him credit for having something
Pass.
reasonably strong. It's going to be head up, is it?
If he hits the case jack on the flop, he's going to get the lot. He don't know it, but
Wow, that's
you know that's why it's always worth doing it. And then if he gets a couple of overcards, he can throw it away. Now he's in great shape.
how will McGill play it? What does McGill put the Greekfish on?
He might check.
Check.
And he checks. John will definitely bet next time out. He'll bet the 500, but
I wonder who's more,
Something funny.
Check the blue.
It's something
who
funny.
is more
In
your
wary
smart
here.
eye.
500 betting called,
Check.
Yeah.
Check.
and Andy a little bit trepidation.
well, I don't know whether Andy's apprehensive or he's trap checking him again. John will definitely bet.
I am check.
Check.
Yeah, man. Bet 500, Andy.
Andy's thinking, is he
Don't
cagey
check.
enough to check raise me on the river after check raise and trying to check raise on the turn?
If
No.
he checks, they'll know he's rocking it.
775.
He's put 3,000 in.
Raise to 3,000.
Cool.
He's got a call. He's got a
Instant
call.
call
Big
from
call.
Greekfish.
He thinks he's behind. Look at him.
Per jacks.
He thinks he's behind.
Yeah, he
Three
called.
sevens.
Yeah, I see what John's done to him. Look. I wish the camera was on Andy then. I mean, I love him. He's a great fella. He thought he was behind there, Jess. I'm glad he won a pot.
Andy Greekfish, the big winner in the game. I don't think he's lost a pot yet. He's played tight, but he's won the hands that he's played.
Good stuff, Jesse. You know, he started off the game. They were only a couple of hours into it. It's a 24-hour game, and he's the only guy who's tripled up. You know, he started off with 5,000, and he's winning. He's on 14K at the minute.
Yeah, and Kalakis is on donuts right now. He's
Donuts.
he's it's not going well for him.
Pass. 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 Alright, it's 250 total. Pass. Call.
Oh no, I forgot to show a blind side today. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh
Call.
no. I didn't look where the button was.
You forgot, yeah.
So we withdraw.
I know that ace has hit Johnny Houston, but
Check.
It's hit Dave
Check.
Gregory even better. Everybody's got one pair, and Gregory's got two.
400. Call.
This could get pumped right up this pot, I'll tell you.
What? He's gonna bust Johnny Houston
Raise.
here.
Well, I ain't so sure he'll bust him.
1200 more. 16 and 2.
What's he got, John? He's got about 6,000 behind, I think.
He's got enough to get
Re-raise.
busted.
He's re-raising.
He's got
There you
enough
go.
to get busted completely flat. Oh
Well,
my.
they've completely done the
Re-raise.
Devilfish a favour.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a
16,
cold deck for Johnny Houston because he knows that Gregory's been giving him action. I mean, Gregory played the 6-3 against him. Gregory
Yeah.
tried to bluff him
Yeah.
with absolutely no hand, and this is what it's all been the setup for.
Yeah, and
You know, if you think back at the two hands these guys have played together.
3-1 there.
you're exactly right. That
Yeah, sorry.
they've completely done the fish a favour. This is his exit. Get out of there and leave him to it. He's re-raised. What's in the pot now?
Does Gregory know his ace-7? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's all in straight away. John can't call, you know.
How much more is it? John's just stuck 1,600 in on top of 2 feet. He's stuck about 18.
He's got to have about 4 grand behind John, surely.
Yeah, he's stuck about 1,800, and yeah, he's playing about 4,000. You think this is automatic fold with the ace
Yeah,
king?
against Dave, I'd pass this.
Can't call it.
Oh,
Set.
Call.
I've got ice king.
They're both.
I don't know.
One of
How can you
them's
say
announced
that?
set, and
It's
the other
gone-
guy's announced flush draw.
yeah.
I mean,
Set, flush draw. If you think that, why are you putting your chips in?
well, I think they're just both trying to slow roll each other.
An 8 will do it. An 8.
As Houston says, an eight or a king or running diamonds will get him out. He's 29% here. This is the biggest pot of the night.
Yeah, 13,300.
And
Going
Houston,
one way
Houston,
or the other.
yeah.
Now you can hit 7-9 king. Sorry, 8-9 king.
8-9 king it is.
Wow, that's it.
Ace is up. And takeaway Dave Gregory is just taking away Johnny Houston, who I imagine is going to check the back pocket.
Well, that was a big pot there, Jesse. The biggest one of the night so far. And John with the ace king is probably the best hand he sat down with. And he's done his stack. Looks like a rebuy for Johnny Texas.
Look at that hand again. The money went in on the flop. A lot of money, about 13,000 worth. Gregory with the 2 pair, aces up to Houston, 1 pair only. That's how it ended. I am joined now by Parg Parkinson. Parg, you've been in the green room since this game began. Is it starting to get a little action?
Well, it should be hotting up fairly shortly. You know, when guys are playing on TV, they generally start off on their Sunday best, but sooner or later, cash game's going to break out here.
They kind of forget about the cameras, forget about the lights, and remember that they're stuck 10 dimes.
Well, exactly. You know, it's very easy.
And that 5,000 of rebuy for Johnny Houston. What'd you think of that last pot? I mean, he had a little bit of history with Dave Gregory there anyway. Dave Gregory had been trying to bluff him twice, I think, already.
Johnny Houston was a bit unlucky. You know, he'd won a load of pots with a bunch of crap. And all of a sudden, he got a real hand and ran into 2 pair. But it'd be interesting to see how he plays the second 5,000. He played a bit faster than the first one, I imagine. See, he's got the 2 hands out for the cards already.
Yeah, he does.
Now, this is like the old days, Jesse, isn't it? You know, all these superstars are a little pampered these days, but, you know, good old 24-hour cash game should get something going.
Oh,
Pass.
yeah. There's nowhere to hide, really. I mean, we're going to see some strange plays for sure.
The Greek fish looks like he's trying to hide. I think he's trying to work out when he can slide out of this without annoying anybody.
Call. Pass. Call.
I guess he is the man who's kind of gotten hit by. He's
Price
won a
250
bunch of
total.
money without having to put any in jeopardy, really. And the bookie raised
Call.
to 250.
Pass.
The bookie's got an interesting kind of game. He plays all sorts of cards. I mean, he limps in with the 2 queens. He's raising around the
Pass.
back with the 4 or 5. And what is the Greek fish up to? Folding for 200 with some very pretty cards.
Call.
Well, if he's behind, he'd be calling with him pretty quickly. You know.
Hardy's got action from the fish on the button and Gregory in the small blind.
You know,
Right.
Jesse, we're used to seeing these guys, you know, playing tournaments on TV where, you know, the structure of the
Check.
tournament
Check.
necessitates them having to tighten up a little bit. But, you know, when you're playing a cash game where you can rebuy on TV, then all of a sudden things were a little bit different.
Tony
Check.
Hardy has hit the nuts on the turn. This is very well disguised. And has the fish fallen into this trap here?
And it looks like it.
Pass.
Straight for Hardy. It's very tough to put him on the 4-5 here. He's raised before the flop. He's checked it twice.
I think he just called here, Jesse.
Call.
You don't want to scare the fish off, you know, especially with a king on the board, which is a card he might well have for his pre-flop raise.
And so I guess Hardy's best bet here is to...
Check.
Gee, I didn't think the fish would go for it again.
I was just about to say I don't think he will. Oh, Hardy's going to have another look here. Those old glasses aren't all they're cracked up to be.
I mean, it is the nuts, right? This is what you dream about. And the Devilfish trying to bluff you. I guess the dream is the Devilfish hit 3 queens on the river, but he's not.
4-5.
The nightmare is he hits 3 queens on the river and passes.
You know,
Yeah. You know, they say the fish is going to just got so famous he's going to finish up in Madam Tussauds. He looks round about ready round about now, doesn't he?
he started off this cash game ahead about 7,000, and it's been all downhill since then. And I mean, he's having trouble putting Hardy on a hand here, isn't he?
Well, all he's got to do is look at his home cards. He don't have very much.
I mean, it's gone very ugly for Dave Elliott all of a sudden. He's going to be. He was ahead 7,000. He's dropped about 10,000 straight, and that's if he folds at this point.
Well, I think he's going to assume he's going to fold here, Jesse.
He's gone very serious. I mean, there's absolutely no way he would decide Hardy's bluffing and try and put a remove on him here, is there?
I don't think so, but it'd be great fun though.
Certainly be good for the game. No, he doesn't look happy at all.
Hardy must be loving this big dwell up from the fish. I think he's going to get a bit of action here.
Well, the fish has got the 1,500 right there. I can't imagine he's putting them in the pot.
Well, you know, he can very easily put Anthony Hardy on a king here. A good king.
I can only beat 8-9 and I've got a 9 in my hand. It's tough for you to have that, huh? Wow. Can't think what you could have called me with on the turn.
Hardy's played this very tricky, hasn't he?
He has.
The fish is wonder if he did have 8-9. Geez, I wish I had checked the river.
Once so ugly, I'd look at you and try and get a read.
He does have a point there, in fairness.
You know, he can always see the humor in the situation. I mean, it is what they is.
When you get into this spot as often as the fish does, I mean, if you don't see the humor in it, you're just going to give up.
He does have a great sense of humor.
The king queen. Huh?
Yeah, he's got back to thinking that maybe
I'm in
Tony
front
could have
line,
had a
whatever.
king.
You can't
I
blame.
think you are.
Yeah.
I think you are.
Pass.
I think he ended up getting a read off Hardy there of some kind of strength anyway.
There's only
Yeah, I
one
think he
draw
put him
there,
on a
8-9
king
that I
queen,
can beat, and I got a 9
pretty
in my
close
hand.
to what he had.
And that's a big pot for the bookie. You know, both the bookie and takeaway Dave Gregory started with about 5,000. Gregory's up about 11, and Hardy's up about 6,500. I mean, these are the two hometown heroes in this game. They're the East London cash game professionals. They're tearing it up so far.
Well, if you say so, Jesse.
You still ain't done your hair properly, have you?
Phil Helms. Oh, sign that, forget it then. No, I'm joking. Fine.
Raise to 125.
I said I'd give someone else.
Pass,
Someone else could
pass.
play
Yeah,
for
we've
an
had-
hour. I want an hour's
125
break,
to
you
Well,
know.
we've seen a $13,000 pot. That was about the biggest we've seen. I dare say we're going to see a pot 10 times that big before the night's over, or the next day and the next night.
And why should I be the one to walk away then if he's going to come and play it?
Pass.
I thought Rob Cooper was next.
$75 on.
What is it?
So
Sorry?
the Greek fish will pay about $500 now to let him just get up and walk away. I think he looks like he's got a good night's wages and wants to go and talk about it.
Yeah, he's,
Hard to blame him.
if they want to switch the game, if they want to switch the game to a politics roundtable, the Greek fish is quite happy to participate.
What I've just said makes perfect sense.
I think he is next.
It's good for us, you know.
I think so. I think I've seen his name on the list.
I mean, look at this picture. Which of these men is winning and which is not?
Well, generally the guy that's talking is winning. It's a
An old reliable system.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I won't be, that's what I'm saying.
You know, when you're losing in one of these games, the last thing you want is the guys to stop for a chat. Interesting and all though it may be.
And
Check.
Gregory, he's trying to let Houston hang himself here. Check top pair.
350.
Now he just absolutely cannot check the top two. I mean,
And
Pass.
Houston's beginning to look like a guy that beginning to think that whatever he had for lunch didn't agree with him.
there's going to be some pain dished out on this.
Well, with any luck at all.
And you can see it, Dave Gregory, $11,500 ahead. Most of that he took from Johnny Houston, I guess. All of a sudden, it's starting to look like there's a couple of losers at this table. You know, early on there was 2 losers and then six winners, Parg. Now 5 of the 8 guys at this table behind in the game.
Well, that should make for a good game, which it usually does. It's interesting to see the hometown guys, Dave Gregory and Hardy, right up there winning. I mean, you know, these guys, I mean, they mightn't be household names, although they are fairly well known to all the sickies that watch TV all the time. But I mean, these guys are doing this night after night after night.
5 hours in, and this big game is like a slow-burning fuse. Austin Healy lit the match, and Johnny Houston smoldering. He had to rebuy, could pop at any time. But the dynamite is in the green room. It's Tony G, Phil Hellmuth, and the Devilfish all waiting to play. There's plenty more action to come when this game continues.